as he said, that 20,000 kilowatts or megawatts or whatever energy from solar source is really inspiring. But as a man from a little bit of science and technology, from medical point of view though, but from technology point of view, I understand that at the time, the need of the hour, that as he said, all the resources, the universities, IIT, Jadavpur and other universities, they should combine. Our human resource must be put together, and we must be able to tackle this situation. I'm very sure, because human resource in this country is really very, very good. It's only coordination, collaboration, that's what is needed. I just have one point, as I read from several journals and several international meets, that there is also other area which we can explore being pioneers or being as a pioneering effort. That biofuel, also one area which can be explored, and in fact one ambitious company in San Diego based on algae-based biofuel. That kind of a pioneer, pilot projects can be taken up by university like Besu. I think many of the students, we all know that from our knowledge in the school, that photosynthesis, the basics of photosynthesis, that is the conversion of our energy to chemical energy. And what all we do, that is the plants, they use the electricity to convert water into hydrogen, oxygen, and then combine with carbon dioxide to prepare the organic hydrocarbon fuel. So this kind of a innovative technology, research in the field of cutting edge technology, I think that's the answer to tackle the problem today. Our government, with the premiership of our Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, we are with you. Any new projects, any new ideas are welcome, and any concerted effort in that direction to provide high quality renewable energy with minimal environmental damage, abundance of energy, so that you can provide the healthcare sector, we can provide the electricity for the rural electrification. Simple electricity and light, I think, provides a lot of facility for the students to read. And once you give education, I think most part of the poverty can be eliminated by education itself. So I need not overemphasize that need for energy. We all understand. Let's work together. I'm sure we'll win the race. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you very much for such inspiring words, sir. Now I would like to invite Mr. Moinak Banerjee to give a memento to share. Moving on ahead, let us extend our warm welcome to Professor Shankar Kumar Shom. Professor Shankar Kumar Shom is currently Director of Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. Professor Shom is a Professor of Mechanical Engineering and is engaged in teaching and research over a period of more than 30 years. So please come on the dais and address the gathering.
Good morning. I am Mr. Bosdosthidar, Mr. Dey, they are left. Okay, Dr. Panchaudhuri, Professor Rai, Professor Bhattacharya, Professor Shah. It is a great pleasure and an honor too for me to be here in this inaugural ceremony of the International Conference on Energy Resources and Technologies for Sustainable Development. At the same time, I feel very nostalgic. This is because this Bengal Engineering and Science University, when it was Bengal Engineering College, Shibpur, is the heartcore alma mater for me. And I was an undergraduate student of this place from 1965 to 1970. So whenever I entered this campus through this first gate of BE College, which was established in 1956, the centenary year, I really feel nostalgic. So this is definitely a very important and exciting moment for me today to be here, not only in this college but also in this institute hall, where during my 5 days that in undergraduate studies, we spent days together during 5 years, days together in the same thing, where in the same hall where movies were shown and many other activities were made. There was a badminton court inside. Those old alumni of BE College will know. However, coming to the context of today's conference, in the challenging issues in the wake of rapid technological development today pertain to sustainable growth, green environment, improved economy, and a better quality of life. The energy technology and policy for energy market play the key role in meeting up these challenges. Today, the global economy is set to grow twofold within a period roughly of 20 years, while India targets a 10% economic growth in a sustainable manner over next 10 years. Now, to meet up this requirement, what is utmost needed, or to meet up this target, what is utmost needed is the adequate supply of energy while safeguarding the environment. As we all know, the demand of energy is mainly driven by the population growth and also by other social and technological changes. As already told by other speakers, that I tell the primary task in this context turns out to be the efficient utilization of non-renewable natural energy sources on one hand, and exploration and feasible and commercially viable utilization of renewable energy resources in the perspective of a clean environment on the other. Before exploring the major issues, let us have a prelude on the overall energy scenario of India relative to the global one. In fact, India stands poor in the global energy scenario. If we see that total energy consumption in India is approximately 350 million tons of oil equivalent, which is hardly 3.5% of the global one, which is approximately 10,000 million tons of oil equivalent. However, the major share of the India's energy consumption is coal, which is 53% against a global figure of roughly 25 to 27%. The share of oil in our energy consumption is 32% against a global figure of 37%. While the contribution of gas is relatively lower, 8% as compared to a global figure of 24%. Nuclear energy is also low, 2% against a global figure of 6 to 8% in the energy consumption. Hydropower is almost comparable, it is 5% in the total energy consumption of India against the global figure of 6 to 8%. So, this is the scenario, and at the same time, another data I tell you that you can understand that our energy scenario is poor compared to the global one. This per capita electric energy consumption of India is almost 600 kilowatt hour per head per year, which is almost 1/4 of the global figure. The average global figure is 2500, is approximate kilowatt hour per head per year. Though India targets to increase its installed electrical power from something like 150 gigawatt today to 800 gigawatt within a period of 20 years. This is the overall scenario. Now the scope of energy is wide and therefore task is huge. So it is very difficult to tell all the sectors of the energy, but I tell you in short, the task is huge, which can broadly be classified into two categories. One is the task of the scientific and technological community that pertains to the innovation of cost-effective, reliable and clean technologies through research and development in exploration of natural energy resources into useful power or useful form, while taking care of environment. And the second one is the task of policymakers and decision makers, which is also equally important to form a policy or to make the policy decision to expand the energy market in harmonization of the interests amongst investors, developers and consumers for a better economy. Let me highlight some major potential issues without going into details where attention has to be paid. Now, at the outset, I like to tell you, probably all of you here or know that there is a threat for rapid depletion of fossil fuel. But we should not be scared of the threat because fossil fuel will last long. A statistical interpolation, the data, say that world reserve of coal will last even for more than 150 years, while the gas reserve will last for more than 50 years, even the oil reserve will last for 40 to 50 years. So therefore, first primary task that is non-renewable fossil fuels should be efficiently converted into energy. So technology has to be devised. And this efficiency is not only the quantitative conversion efficiency, this is of course the primary one. Along with that, there should be efficient processes and devices which makes an efficient quality conversion. It is not the conversion what should not be used from thermodynamic sense, it is the preservation of quality too. That means the process of conversion should be energy efficient, quantitative energy efficient, and also efficient in preserving the quality of the energy. As I have already told that coal is the major share of the Indian power, which is 53% of the total power consumption. We should pay more attention to this coal sector. Some of the major potential issues where we have to pay attention is the in situ gasification for extraction of coal at higher depths. The second one is the washing and beneficiation of coal for the low-grade coal which contains high ash. And incidentally, Indian coal is a low-grade coal which contains as high as 40 to 45%. And reduction of ash is utmost important for combustion of coal, as we know that the melting of ash creates the hindrance or obstruction for the diffusion of oxygen from the ambience to the coal surface and makes that char burning incomplete, for which the energy conversion efficiency of coal becomes low. So therefore reduction of ash is very important. If we feel that reduction cannot be made to a low extent, then we have to resort for other type of burning system than the existing pulverized coal burning, where the temperature of combustion is so high which makes the ash to melt. That is fluidized bed combustion. This is the potential field where the combustion temperature is kept low because of the presence of bed materials and then restricts the melting of ash and makes it efficient burning. Incidentally, Indian coal doesn't contain sulfur, but the coals where sulfur content is more will be held by the fluidized bed combustion also to capture the sulfur with the reaction of the bed material so that detrimental sulfuric acid formation doesn't take place. So fluidized bed combustion is another aspect where we have to keep attention, pay attention. Another area is the coal gasification and use of integrated gasification combined cycle, IGCC, to enhance the energy efficiency. Apart from this, as already told by other speakers, that in non-renewable area we have to pay attention on solar, mainly the solar thermal and solar PVS, the photovoltaic system. We have to pay attention on biofuels. We have to go for plantation of biomass and use the biofuels, mainly in the automotive industries, biodiesel, blended with conventional diesel. And one thing is very important today, that to make the environment green, we have to develop a carbon-free automotive transport, carbon-free transport. So biofuel, use of biofuel both in automotive industries and the power sectors, for which we have to go for plantation of biomass, wood gasifications, these are the areas. Then comes effective carbon capturing. One thing I forgot to tell you, that when we consider the efficient burning of non-renewable fossil fuels, apart from energy efficiency, preservation of quality, very important thing is the capture of carbon capturing. That means capturing of greenhouse gas, CO2, which is very important from the environmental pollution point of view to prevent the environment from global warming. So, carbon capturing and energy storage are very important areas where we have to pay the attention. And more initiative has to be taken by the Carbon Sequestration Leadership Forum in this respect. Nuclear side, we have potential sources, and in India we must enhance this, and India has already made a plan to enhance its nuclear energy share within 10 years from 2% to 5%. It has already been planned to go for some under 8 to 10 reactors, pressurized heavy water reactors on nuclear side. So therefore, nuclear side also we have to pay attention with effective management of waste disposal. So like this, there are many other areas. Time is short, I don't want to emphasize, but in short, it can be told that the global energy economy, not only in India, requires a rapid transformation over the coming decades. Attention should be paid on renewables, nuclear energy, carbon capturing, carbon-free transports, etc. This is on one side. Another side, the time has come when a major shift is needed in government policy, which means that a policy has to be made at a very high level and long-term effect over the future demands of clean, reliable and efficient energy, sustainable, efficient energy, which the industry decision makers can rely upon. So, researchers working in this community have to pay attention on these areas. I like to tell, as a just offshoot of this discussion, that what is needed on the background for the engineering and scientific community, because I cannot comment what should be done by the policymakers, to develop any sustainable technologies, not only pertaining to energy sector. Today, what is needed is a very strong interactions between academia and industry. Both the sectors should feel the relative importance, relevance of industry in academics, academic research, in the coursework for the students who will go to serve the industry. At the same time, industry should feel for the innovation of technology, they require the help of academicians, so that academy-industry marriage should be made more and more strong through the collaborations, through the setup of advanced R&D laboratories and schools in the academia. So this is utmost needed. Now coming to the context of today's conference, so it is apparent that this conference is set to take place at the right moment to respond to this call of sustainable development and green environment of the day. Hope this conference will definitely provide a platform for exchange of innovative ideas amongst the leading experts. I feel very happy to see really the leading experts in the field of energy in different areas pertaining to energy are here. So definitely through the exchange of innovative ideas, through brainstorming lectures and discussions, they will, in the field of energy, they will come out with some initiative breakthrough ideas which will act as a guiding tool to the policymaker to set up a better energy market for the future. I wish a grand success of this conference to fulfill its objectives. Thank you.
With a token of appreciation. Now, Mr. Molay Kumar De. Mr. Molay Kumar De is an IAS and Principal Secretary, Department of Power and Non-Conventional Energy Sources, Government of West Bengal.
Respected Professor Shom, Professor Bhattacharya, Mr. Gonchudari, Professor Saha, distinguished participants of this workshop. At the outset, I would like to thank the BESU authorities for giving me this opportunity to be present here.